video of Old Guys, Gentlemen Flippers. And today we have another out-of-country knife from Canada, and it's from North Arms. I first heard about this knife by subscribing and listening to watching Nick Shabazzes. Probably not pronouncing it right. Nick Shabazzes knife reviews. He's one of the best knife reviewers. I trust most of the stuff he says. And when he got this knife, he was kind of blown away by it, especially by the action of it. So I immediately went out and ordered it. When I say immediately, it was a few days after his release. And at that point, they were all out of stock, and they said it was going to be a several-week wait. And that was mainly driven by the viewers of, pardon me, I've been working on my knives, primarily driven by Nick Shabazzes' review. Now, I checked to see if you wanted to order it now, and they can't deliver until January. It's a small shop. I think it's a father and son setup, but I was very pleased with this knife. So I think the packaging wasn't that great. It comes in this, I don't know what this is, shredded wood or cardboard? Straw. I think it's straw. And it comes with a couple of cards from their place. Credit there. And some instructions on the specs and the usage of it. In fact, let me go through the specs here a little bit. The handle material is G10 laminate, and I got a red. I don't know if they call it blood red, but that's what it looks like in real life. The blade material is CPM S35VN steel with a hardness between 59 and 61. And the way they machine it is, you can see these lines on here. Let me see if I can, this isn't really doing it justice. Oh, there we go. The logo is not all that special, but I do like the look of the blade. Everything is very well made. If you want to see the insides of this thing, I have had this thing apart already and have adjusted it. When I first got it, it fired like a son of a gun. Both for light switch and for push button. But it would not drop close. So I went ahead and pulled it apart, lubricated it. The lock bar is actually one thin strip of metal that comes back here and then is held in place by the same screws that hold the pocket clip. So what I ended up doing is I cleaned it up, lubricated it. It didn't really need to be cleaned up. And I pulled this thing out, which is about that long, put it in a vise and just adjusted it basically back that way a little bit. And I almost could go back a little bit further, except the action down like this isn't as good as it was before, but that's still damn good. However, the push button opening is definitely stellar. It feels very lightweight in the hands. Do they give a weight here? 3.1 ounces. The blade thickness at the spine is 0.1 inches, so it's a fairly thin knife blade. The grind is semi-hollow. The inclusive angle on the edge is 30 degrees. Now, I have not done my sharpening on it yet, so you're not seeing the mirror polish I usually put in these things. This is one of the first knives I've gotten where it is just about hair shaving sharp. Very, very good on them for sharpening that well. What else can I say? Other things I like, it's kind of a conservative looking knife, which is what I kind of go for. Really like this blood red kind of color. The machining on it is really good. I mentioned the steel. It's easy to adjust and open. It actually, after I pulled, let me see, I pulled this screw out and these two screws out. And by the way, I think this is a torque size 10 or 11. So it's a little bit bigger than a lot of the other ones I've used. But it's easy to pull apart and put back together. The grip is just a little slippery. I think it would have been better to put a little bit more of a texture to the thing. I always checked. Centering is great. I've always wondered why is that such a big deal? I mean, if the action's good and it's not hitting the sides, why do you care if it's centered? That's just me. The price is pretty good. It's like 170 bucks for a very light, good steel, smart action knife that looks good. I'll make description again. Well, yeah, there's enough of a grip to it. It's not that bad. I still would have liked maybe just a little bit of more texturing on this thing. Although maybe that would have ruined some of the look of the handle. And the more I look at this, the more I like it. It feels cheap, but maybe that's because it's so light at 3.1 ounces. It's not made cheaply. I think what surprised me is that it's this single bar of metal that's screwed to basically the scale of the knife, so it's not an integral part of the overall frame. But looks good, flips open really well. I mentioned the long lead time now. It'll be, if you order one today, it'll be January before you get it. So I was pretty lucky to order it a few days after Nick reviewed it. And this packaging is, I think I mentioned this in the beginning, it's just a little odd. At first I thought, oh wow, that's kind of cool. And this comes in a little plastic bag, which I don't have right now. But as I set this aside, I noticed that there were little bits of straw all over my dining room table. I thought, well, that's not so cool. I think that's about it. I really like the knife. It doesn't oogle and ogle me like a Shirogora, but it's like just one little step below it. Nice opening. That's something to really appreciate and love. How about some comparisons? Here's the Shirogora Neon Ultralight, and I think these are going to be pretty comparable. Yeah, almost exactly the same. The neon blade width is a little bit thicker, and I guess the blade of the North Arm, you know, I haven't called it what its real name is. It's the North Arm Skaha, S-K-A-H-A folding knife. I think it's the only folding knife that they make right now. And here's the Shirogora 95T. It's a bigger knife. So I think that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video and got something out of it. And until next time, goodbye.